Okay. I think we're going to be all right. Let's see. Did we get connected? I think we're connected, but okay. And I think we are live. All righty, we are getting started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nina Rochelle Mora, and I am certainly excited to be one of your hostess for this evening. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, right? I remember that song as a little kid, and that song in itself used to make me happy. We want to know where you're logging in from. So, in the chat, if you would let us know what city, what state, what country are you logging in from? Let us know if you're a guest who might have invited you this evening, because guess what? What you ought to do, especially if you aren't with that person, is you ought to send them a huge shout out and a huge thank you for not overlooking you, for not thinking, that you didn't need to hear this information. They didn't think about it, but they invited you. Or maybe, just maybe, you saw a post or a live somewhere on Facebook, somewhere on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, threads, right? And maybe you saw a post and you said, you know what, let me go and see what this is all about. We're praying that for whatever reason you are here, we know that God led you here and that you belong on this Zoom with us this evening, right? This evening. And so welcome, welcome, welcome. And normally right now you're waiting for me to throw up some slides and give you some information. And you know what? Tonight it's going to be a little bit different. The Holy Spirit told me that we needed to approach this a little bit differently tonight, and I wanted to make sure, hey Sandra, welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to make sure that we gave you the real. So I need to ask permission to you all, to all of our guests, to our brand ambassadors. Is it okay for us to have a transparent conversation tonight? Is it okay to be real with you all tonight? Now, I will be stepping out of the way for a minute and we'll bring on the good, illustrious Dr. Nicole Bramwell. But I need to tell you my testimony. It was burning in my spirit today. And I'm glad to be here with you tonight. And I want to share something really personally that really completely transformed my life. Because you see, I wasn't always in a good place. And what happens, Dr. Bramwell, what happens, Misha, what happens, Marguerite, what happens, Yolanda, is that people see you now and they don't know the story. Right? They don't know the story. And it reminds me of that song, You Don't Know My Story, right? You don't know my story. And I figured that I needed to take just a moment to dive a little deeper, because sometimes we're so focused on getting the information to people that you don't hear the stories that connect you to the people. But I was over 40. And the truth is that I want to remind you tonight, first of all, that it's never too late. Because when I saw some information on Facebook, has anyone on here saw a post on Facebook that kind of changed their life, right? Maybe it was TikTok, maybe it was Instagram, but I saw a post on Facebook in 2014 that didn't just change my life, but it saved my life. So I wasn't in a good place. And I just like keep having to say, sometimes people feel like they missed the boat, Dr. Bramwell, that they the opportunity is too far gone. And I want to remind you all that it is not, that you're right here at the right time. And you've taken care of your kids, some of you, your grandkids, some of you, your spouses. And the reality of it all is now it's time to make you a priority. I want you to type me in the chat. And I know that it's a little hard to be selfish. I know it's a little hard because we've been taught all our lives, Misha, to be selfless. But no, on tonight, we're going to talk about me, like pointing the finger back at yourself, making yourself a priority. Because what I think about is, even on a plane, the pilot always says, and in case of an emergency, put the mask on yourself first. I'm not stuck. I kind of want to let that one marinate. In case of an emergency, put the mask on yourself first, because you can't help anyone if you don't first take care of yourself. And so I want to talk to you guys about the fact that, when I look at my life and when I think about where I've come from, when I started the profession, for those of you who know or may not know what I do, because you think I just pray and I kind of get people excited, and I do those things. But in 2008, I was a professional hairstylist, a cosmetologist, and I actually owned my own salon, and I managed several salons during my tenure. And I would tell you that I was working a lot of hours every single week, and I still didn't have enough to make ends meet. Is there anybody that might be kind of relating to what I'm saying? I was working a lot of hours, and I still was robbing Peter to pay Paul, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, right? And the reality of it is that back then, when I was going through a divorce, I thought my life was over. My son was going to college. I had one son that was entering high school or coming out of middle school, going into high school, and I had one daughter in elementary school, and I was alone after thinking, Marguerite, that I had done everything right. I felt like I had finally gotten it right, that my marriage wasn't supposed to be ending in divorce, because I felt like I had finally gotten it right. Then I found myself having to raise three kids by myself again, alone. And I find myself struggling and trying to figure out, well, if I am a single mom raising my kids alone, where would I find the time to go work another job? Where would I find the time, Marguerite, to go and and split myself into three to be present for a son that was playing basketball, and a son that was in theater and choir, and then a daughter that was playing volleyball and active in her school, and still having to work trying to make ends meet. My health was spiraling out of control. And although I was going to church every Sunday, hallelujah anyhow, my health was spiraling out of control. And what I didn't realize, Dr. Bramwell, was how important my health was, because we do all of these things for all of these people, and then we neglect ourselves. And so I know that it's a struggle to think about our health, and I know that it's a struggle, but I've come from selling my food stamps that I had to lie to get. Let me be, can I, Misha, can I just be like a haul away? Because, see, I know ain't nobody else do this, just me. But I had to lie to get the food stamps. Okay, maybe, just me, Marguerite, just me. But I had to lie to get the food stamps. And then there were times that I had to actually sell the food stamps because I still didn't have enough, right? Because food and trying to feed, because my house was the house, and so everybody was at my house. So I wasn't just feeding my Marguerite, to tell you, I wasn't just feeding my kids. I was feeding my kids and the whole. It was like I had so many kids I didn't know what to do, right? And so all of the kids were with me all the time, and there I was selling food stamps, but embarrassed to say that I had the little EBT card, but glad that I had it too. And I know that it's only me. I know I'm the only one that can relate to this. I understand. And I remember going to the grocery store feeling like, please don't deny me. Like, please don't. I didn't want to be embarrassed at the checkout too, because I was already embarrassed enough in my life, in church. I was embarrassed as a 15-year-old pregnant in a Philadelphia high school for girls. I felt like I was a failure. And then finally, Misha, finally, I stumbled into an industry that didn't care about my flaws. I stumbled into an industry, Dr. Bramwell, that didn't matter whether I came from jail or Yale. I stumbled into an industry that didn't care that I was a teen mom and a divorcee, my credit was awful, and that and that my husband had cheated on me, and he was I entered into an industry that didn't care about that. As a matter of fact, I entered into an industry. I entered into a profession that was applauding me for not giving up. I entered into a profession, y'all, that was telling me, tell your story. Tell your story. There's power in your story. And as I begin to tell my story from a place of victory, not victim. See, it didn't care. This industry didn't care whether I came from the pit or the pit or the pole. It didn't matter. The pit, the pole, or the palace. It didn't matter. It didn't matter that I didn't have a college degree, and I'm not against degrees, but I didn't have one, and I don't have one, right? I've got on the job training. Right? And so here I was struggling, and I was struggling so bad, Dr. Bramwell, that I was wearing it on my 5'3" frame at 300 pounds. I'm going to let that one sober up. That brings me to tears. It does. It does, because we overlook ourselves. Ladies, I'm talking to us. We overlook ourselves so much to take care of everyone else. And when we look back, Marguerite, we don't even know who we are or how we got there. And you know that song, How Did We Get Here? Nobody's supposed to be here. I think about that song for me. It had nothing to do with a man that wasn't supposed to be there. I'm like, how did I get there? How did I get broke? How did I get to having this awful credit score? How did I get to a place where I wanted to take my life? How did I get to that place where I felt worthless? How did I get there? Then I find this profession that applauds me for my pain and my trauma. And then I started telling other people about this profession that's applauding us for our pain and our trauma. And then I found that there were some supplements, there were some things that I could utilize that could make me feel better. It was making me look better. It was making me smile again. And I started to win again. And I just wanted something, y'all, to make my children proud of me again. Because I felt like a failure. So I know you're saying, well, what does this have to do with all of us being here? And I'm about to tell you. Because we found this profession that offers you a way out. What I realized, Dr. Bramwell, is that I didn't even realize I needed a lifeline. I was drowning. I was suffocating. And someone threw me a lifeline. See, I didn't have Facebook at the time and Instagram and TikTok, and we didn't have those tools to see the lifeline. But someone whispered in my ear, hey, you should come and hear about a thing. And so I want you to open up your ears. And I know this might feel like it was a little lengthy, and you might even feel like you was at church just right now, right? Good. Maybe you didn't go today. Maybe you was at Bedside Baptist, right? But I wanted to really help you to see why we are so passionate about what we do. I want you to see from real people who I myself used to be opposed to network marketing. I called it a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme. I want you to see that there are other people that are regular people like us, right? That literally, with no degree, I was able to figure it out. I was able to watch some YouTube videos and figure out YouTube and Instagram and all of those things. So I understand the struggle of health. I understand the pain of financial struggles and not living in your true purpose. We want to help you live in your true purpose. We want to help you to not just go through the motions, but we know you desire for more in your life like I did. And maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm the only one who desired more for my life. But why does health matter? Dr. Bramwell's getting ready to talk to you about that. She's getting ready to talk to you about feeling stuck in a routine where you can't seem to find your way out. And we're not going to talk about all the products, but I'm going to come back at the end and I'm going to talk to you about how you can go ahead and take action to make the changes. But I need to bring my good friend, my good friend, up to the line, y'all. I went to go get her because she needed to be here. She needed to be with me, right? And because God is not a respecter of persons, this is my friend. And I saw that there was a need that was beyond a comp plan. It was beyond a product. It was a need to restore her joy and restore her faith in humanity. to restore her joy, her peace, and her confidence, to bring that all back because the enemy tried to take it from her. This young lady is dual degreed, all right, y'all? She's a real doctor, right? 30 plus years, a Howard graduate. And I am honored beyond all of those things, y'all. I am just honored that she's a humble servant who loves to help people, loves to have fun, but she about her coins. I need you all to light that chat up, right, for Dr. Nicole Bramwell.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much, Mrs. Moore. And I feel like I hear your feel it every moment again and again. Like you just feel it. And I know you experience that for sure. But definitely from my standpoint, and I think that tonight is probably a night for us to be, real and talk about some things. And so, you know, you came to get me. And yeah, I was in a space where I was broken, where I had lost faith in the medical field because they didn't come to help. And I'm not going to go through the whole story, but the pain is the same. To end up not being able to be what you need to be to your family. And so I see women like that in my business, in my wellness business, all the time. As a matter of fact, I was on Threads before coming on, and just seeing the pain of people listing, like, I have no energy, I'm fatigued, I don't know what to do, how did I get here, what, you know, and calling themselves names. And I'm not going to repeat those names because I'm one very, very big on what you say has power. And so I'm not going to repeat those, but I know that people are out there in pain. And so maybe everyone on here is wondering, what in the world does that have to do with Dr. Nicole Bramwell, the holistic diabetes reversal expert, talking about the products? Well, I'm going to tell you that when you experience extreme stress, when you experience changes in your mood, you are missing nutrients, you are using up nutrients. They're not getting replenished. You're not eating properly. You may eat too little. You may eat too much. You have lots of imbalances going on, and your body is going into turmoil. So, I strongly believe in supplements and all types of techniques that are important in restoring our bodies to optimal balance. Okay, so I'm going to start here, but in between, I'm going to pepper with some things because I was reading some studies. And let me tell you, a lot of you depend on, I need to exercise, but then you don't change the eating. And guess what? We got to do all the things. And so, but we need support to do that. So let me just start with the active greens here as far as giving you support, because maybe you don't like vegetables. And so here are active greens, raw greens, quality organic greens that are in a drink that tastes good. They don't taste green. All right. And you're getting that to supply your body with 70 minerals and vitamins. That's extremely important because your body needs the nutrients in order to do all the other things that you need to do. So maybe you're a caregiver. Well, guess what? You've been taken care of, and caregivers include parents. Okay, we're parents or caregivers of the children, and we're using up all of our nutrients, supply, taking care of everyone and not looking about ourselves. We're worried about whether or not they're going to fall when we're losing our balance and getting ready to fall because we've used all of our energy and all of our resources. So let me tell you, so you're going to get those nutrients. You're going to get adaptogens. I talk about that stress. Adapt to stress rather than reacting to stress. It's the reaction, it's your body's response that's going to throw you out of balance, get your hormones off balance, decrease your immune system, all of that. Well, the adaptogens, the reishi mushroom, the ashwagandha, those are going to actually help you to balance your body in your mood, your immune system, so that you can be stronger and be able to adapt to that stress and be able to go through that stress without losing any clarity or balance, or you won't miss a step. You're not going to get your digestion all messed up Okay. And then we've got nitric oxide in here, which is important to every system in your body, but definitely people know about it on supporting your heart, supporting your blood vessels, but it also helps with um, regulating your sugar, regulating other systems in your body, nervous system, all of that, your endurance, your ability to go, go, go. Hey, caregivers, anyone out there working too many hours, working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I watched my mom do that. And my sister and I were able to convince her to stop doing that because we said, well, we're going to show you what it looks like for you not to be here. And we went 3 days without speaking to her so that she could understand that it was going to impact us very, very powerfully. But we didn't have this. We didn't have this product to be able to take so that she could actually sustain herself better, be stronger. And so these ingredients in here are going to fortify your body. Like I said, it's a very simple drink. It's going to that you can just take every day. It's going to detox your body. It's also going to take care of your toxin elimination and reduce your stress. So the Elevate, hey, this is your liquid vitamin because we do have it in capsule form, but more of us probably use the powder form to just put into some water and drink it because it tastes good and it's going to give us 4.5 servings of fruits and vegetables. It has adaptogens in it as well. So there you go, reishi mushroom, chaga mushroom, shiitake mushroom. The vitamins in here come from whole foods, okay? Real strawberries, cranberries, spinach, broccoli, all from the extraction technology that just sucks it into that powder and makes it so much more simpler because you cannot eat enough food, enough good food to keep up with the nutrients that you need. Okay. And then we've got all the vitamins in there, A, D, C, E, K, and B1 through B12, B12 at 2000%. And we've got nootropics in here, giving you mental clarity and mental focus, just helping you guarana, not with caffeine, natural caffeine that's not going to give you palpitations or jitteriness, bacopa, yerba mate, and yohimbine, increasing stamina and performance. So I don't know about you, but those things sound really, really good to me. And believe me, we use these products to help us get through. So my mood doesn't change throughout the day. I stay happy. But this right here, this is my best friend. This Epic Slim is my best friend because I do help a ton of people reverse their diabetes, but it was harder before this product. So here we have a coffee. It's real coffee. It's not just coffee flavored. It is a coffee. And we have a tropical drink. Both of them are collagen meal replacements. Now, why is that important? First of all, they're not shakes. All right. And I love a shake just like the next person, but I get tired of them if I have to do it all the time. I am not or was not a coffee drinker, but I drink this coffee because of the benefits that it's coffee with benefits. Okay. So I actually been following this little pooch that I had in my belly for like, I don't know how long. And I look back at some pictures and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how could I be slim and still have that? And many people, many of you have that. So you don't have to be overweight to have that issue. And if you have that issue, you're still insulin resistant, just like anyone else that may be overweight. So this product is for you. So the collagen is going to help you control your blood sugar. It has 19 amino acids, and so those are active in helping to control blood sugar. Very, very important. We have 2 types of collagen in here. The first one is 90% of your body, your skin, your bone, your tendons, your ligaments, and then the type 3 is actually the one that's going to cover and protect your organs and also be on the inside of your gut so that your gut keeps its integrity. So it's going to help with things like leaky gut, actually taking care of that and allowing your body to absorb nutrients properly. But let me tell you, the secret weapon in here is that berberine. That berberine goes into it. It's going to activate that little pesky fat that I was talking about. That's why I was able to get rid of that belly and go wear a bathing suit in Cancun that I haven't done in decades. Okay. But we're not even going to go there. I get emotional about that because I haven't been in that place in a while. But the berberine actually activates something called AMPK, And so that will reactivate the brown fat that's been sitting there that hasn't been moving, that you can't understand why you can't shed that weight. And it's going to reactivate it for your body to burn it as energy, along with the glucose, which is the sugar in your body. So it's going to burn that so that you're not storing more fat. It also can help you decrease your fat cells. Okay, so we're not going to form any more fat, and we're not going to fill any fat cells. That's very, very important. But it also will decrease fatty liver. That can be the first sign of insulin resistance or diabetes or prediabetes. It also will decrease clotting. Actually, we just had a church member actually just had a stroke, was on blood thinners, got off blood thinners for a short period of time, and had a stroke in just a matter of weeks. So this can help, the berberine will help with clotting. Okay, also decrease your lipids. So that LDL, that other fat, that bad fat, whatever you want to call it, we want to decrease that, and it can stop that from accumulating in your blood vessels as plaques. So that, again, will decrease your clotting. All right, and then we've got lion's mane, which is for mental clarity. You're going to get smarter drinking these because it increases cognition and it increases short-term memory. That's amazing, because how many of you been walking around with your glasses on your head saying, where are my glasses? Or better yet, what's happening lately is, where's my phone? Where's my phone? And you're talking to your sister. Oh, that's probably just me, right? Okay, so, but anyway, that happens, but this can help with that. And then we've got the cordyceps is going to help to continue to detoxify your body, detoxify your gut, and also DNA repair. So getting better from the cells. We are healing bodies instead of just putting on band-aids, okay? And there is a chance you can decrease your medication or get off your medication, because we got tons of testimonials about that. And I'm gonna be the next one because I'm decreasing those medicines. I'm so happy about that. But this, I get thrilled about this. And it also has 80 milligrams of potassium, which you need for your muscle, your heart. Your heart is a muscle, but you need it for proper function, and your kidneys. And so that's all in there. And we've got calorie burn. You're gonna burn 500% more calories if you need to. If you do not need to lose weight, guess what? This is going to support you. And if you need to gain weight, you actually add this to your eating regimen rather than taking away a meal with the meal replacement. So this is phenomenal. The nutrients that you're going to get in here are just amazing. I drink 2 of these a day. One, the coffee in the morning. Yes, the non-coffee drinker is drinking the coffee in the morning. And then the tropical drink in the evening, in the afternoon, so I can feel like I'm back in Cancun. So, hey, that's that about the products. But can I tell you about the reason why you want these nutrients? You want to be able to move. You want to be able to move, but you can only move if you have good balance. And guess what? Those 2 things are actually tied to your quality of life and longevity of life. So you got to get a clue that you need to put into your body what you need, but you still need to do other things so that you can actually have this longevity. So that's what I got. Mrs. Moore, I'm going to let you take it from here and share more about how this translates to put in those coins in the pocket, because I will need to hear it again so that I make sure that I'm doing it right, okay? But back to you, because you've helped a ton of people really, really do that over the years. And so I thank you for helping me do that as well.
Wow, thank you so much. Y'all put a 1 in those comments if Dr. Bramwell was informative. Now, here's the deal. Those are not the only products that we have, you guys. We literally have a way to just customize what you need based on what your situation is. You heard Dr. Bramwell say that balance and stability is important as well, because that will increase your longevity of life as well. So there are numerous products that we have. We're just highlighting those because those are pretty much our most used products, along with our detox, because we do believe that our gut, we know that studies are proven that your gut is the body's second brain, and that 85% of disease begins in the gut. But how does that translate? I told you guys that I saw a Facebook post in 2014. I was up late one night scrolling. I'm sure that I'm probably the only person that does that, right? But I was up one night late scrolling, and I saw something come across the screen. And Marguerite, saying to myself, now I hadn't tried some of everything, right? And when y'all know, when you're overweight, you'll try anything. If it was a brown paper bag and they said, if you breathe into this paper bag, that you're gonna lose some weight. When you've been overweight for a long time, you will try anything. And I remember waking my husband up, y'all, because y'all know we know when to talk to the husbands, right? He was asleep, and I had a credit card in the drawer, Marguerite, that said used for emergencies only. Well, it was an emergency to me. I had just had Paige. I was back in my 200s. I told y'all I'm only 5'3", and I said, you know what? First of all, I'm tired of being tired. I really wasn't thinking that I was going to build it big. I just figured I would share my testimony online and then I would let people hold me accountable. Well, I started losing weight. The product started kind of going viral because people were watching my journey, and I started to understand the power of extra income. Can you type in the words extra in the comments? And I excuse me, to escape the just getting by way of life. I don't know about you all, but that was me. I was tired of the just getting by way of life. How many of us are tired of the hustle where you kind of like feel like you're just working to just pay bills, just to get by? We wake up, go to work, come home, repeat. Well, for those people that go to work, right? And it's draining, and it feels like you're not living life like you were meant to. Lead it. Not just live it, but lead it. What if you could build something that worked around your life and gives you financial freedom to live with purpose? See, that's why we're here tonight, because we want you to have financial freedom to help you live with purpose. So I found that through network marketing, and it's not too late for you no matter what your age is. Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC till he was 66 years old, and he went door to door selling fried chicken. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know how I would feel about somebody coming to my front door with fried chicken. Okay, maybe it's just me. It's really time to stop just getting by and start living fully. And then we get empowerment and control. Dr. Brandwell, we get the freedom to live our purpose. We get the permission, Marguerite, to laugh again. We get the permission to decide, like we just decided to homeschool our daughter because our lifestyles enable us to be present for that. And that was a very difficult decision, y'all. We have been through the ringer with the schools and what we see as the systemization that's happening in schools, where they're forcing our children to think what they want them to think. And literally, when you're showing them a math problem and they get the right answer, but you tell them that it's wrong because they didn't draw squares and circles and boxes, it's time to rethink what we've known as school, and that we have the freedom, And it's not just me that has the freedom, y'all. It's me and my husband who have the freedom to be 100% present for our daughter, who is not learning about money in school. She's not learning about coins and dollar bills. She's not learning cursive in school. And all they're telling her is, all they're doing is comparing her to other students that don't look like her. Somebody's going to catch that in a minute. Freedom. Because it's easy to get trapped in a cycle, and it's easy to accept the cycle when the story that we were meant to believe, when the blinders finally come off and you say, this is not what life is supposed to be. And we've decided that the same way we've allowed personal development and growth to empower our lives, that we're going to allow that to empower our daughter's life too. And we're going to give her the skill sets that she needs to live the life that she is called to. We're here tonight to talk to you all, no matter what your age is, for you to be able to live the life that you are called to. That's what freedom is, to have empowerment and control. You have so much more to offer the world than what you're doing right now. And it's time for you to take control. You have the power to create life when you wake up excited, energized, and living with intention. I want you to understand it's not too late, and it starts with you. So we want you to understand the call is to live your life with purpose. And we can show you how to get started for as low as $45, where you literally will buy one bag of our coffee, or you got to get back to the person that invited you here. Let them kind of tailor make a package for you based on your needs. We need you to know it's not too late because you're here. And because you're here, it's not too late. I want to speak to those of you who feel like you're just putting in the hours, but you're not truly living. And if you're over 50, you may feel like the clock is ticking, right? But it's ticking. That's how you feel. But I'm here to remind you again, it's never too late. That you haven't missed your chance. That's big, that you have wisdom, the experience, and the desire to make the change. And if you've been feeling like you're just going through the motions, working for someone else's dream and not your own, now, say now in the comments. Now is the time. Now is the time to take action because you deserve more than just another day of just getting by. You deserve to wake up feeling alive, excited about what the day holds. So as you think about tomorrow, about going to work, going back to that vicious cycle, going through the motions again, ask yourself, is this the life that I really want? We all deserve more than just surviving the days. We deserve to thrive. You are capable of so much more than just clocking in and out. You deserve a life when you're waking up with energy, excitement, and purpose. And if I can make that shift in my life, guess what? So can you. We're not telling you to quit your job. We're not telling you that. But that's your job. That's not your work. Do we understand? That's not your work. That's just your job. That's what's paying the bills. But it's not your work. Let's stop waiting for the weekend to feel alive and start building the life that we want today because you deserve it. It's time to live in your purpose. Now, how do you do that? Because I'm not going to talk to you about a comp plan because what's the point? What's the point? You're not going to understand it anyway, right? You'll learn that as you get along the way. What we're going to tell you is based on your needs, we're going to talk to you about how to get started. We're going to say that we don't want to talk about making $1 million a month because if you've never made $1 million a month, you don't know how to make $1 million a month. You don't know what it takes to make $1 million a month. What we will share with you is that we have a community of people who live on purpose, who love on purpose, who love God, and we're going to love you no matter how you feel about it, right? There's nothing you can do about it. We want you to know that you still have life and purpose to fulfill. You're here, and because you're here on this earth, and for whatever reason you might have seen this today, you're here. And so why not now do something that you can be proud of? Why not now put the mask on yourself first? And let us show you how to make some extra income that could turn into something super, super substantial. We're at the front of launching something super big. And I'm just going to ask you, if not now, when? And if not this, what? This doesn't require for you to know anything. This just requires for you to be coachable, trainable, and teachable. So I want you to run back to the person that invited you here and say, okay, what you got for me? What you got? Tell them what your needs are. Let them know what those needs are. And then get started, right? Ask how you can get started. We're going to welcome you, give you your unofficial welcome to the team. And we're going to thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us because we know that you could have been anywhere else. We want to publicly thank Dr. Nicole Bramwell for her expertise and lending her gifts always. She's always willing to serve. And I want to thank all of you, our VIP guests and our brand ambassadors that are here, lending your time, lending your talent, lending your energy. We're excited to see you at the top, not from the top. And we're excited to see you begin to live your life on purpose. Will you choose life today? That choice is yours. Good night and God bless you all.